All right, let's talk about something anyone in compliance knows all too well. That feeling right before an audit. It's this mad dash to pull together evidence, just trying to prove you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But we're not just talking about stress here. A failed audit can mean huge fines and a major blow to your reputation. That chaos, that's what we're here to tame.
And this right here is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to have evidence, but it's a whole other thing to have evidence you can actually trust. So when that auditor looks you square in the eye and asks, how do you know this report, this screenshot, hasn't been touched since you collected it? What are you going to say?
Because, let's be real, for most of us, the situation looks a lot like this. A total nightmare. Your proof is just everywhere. It's in your SIM, your ITSM tools, your vulnerability scanners, scattered across cloud drives. You've got people manually taking screenshots, which is not only slow, but super easy to mess up. And at the end of the day, you're left with this giant pile of digital stuff with no real way to prove any of it is authentic.
So, let's break this down into a little two-act play. First up, the collection problem. How in the world do you stop all that frantic searching and just bring everything together, automatically?
The answer starts right here, in what's called the Partner Integration Center. I want you to think of this as the central command hub for your compliance evidence. So instead of you having to go out to all your different tools, this dashboard connects directly to them. It pulls in the evidence you need all on its own and even maps it to the right controls. No more dragging and dropping. And this is where the magic of automation really kicks in, solving those super specific, super annoying problems. Like for identity management, it automates the proof of who has access to what, proof of MFA, all that stuff. And for your SIM, it takes those oceans of raw log data and turns them into clean, simple dashboards that an auditor can actually understand.
And, it's the same story for your other tools. For things like ServiceNow or Jira, it pulls together all those incident tickets and change logs. For endpoint security, you get this amazing real-time look at your device compliance and patch status.
And, of course, it hooks into your vulnerability scanners, turning those raw scan results into polished reports that are ready to hand over. But, hey, see that last point on the right? Create a secure chain of custody. Tuck that phrase away, because that is huge for what's coming next.
Okay, so, boom, the first big headache? It's solved. The scavenger hunt for evidence is officially over. Everything's in one place, it's collected automatically, and it's always up to date. Pretty great, right?
But, and this is a big but, just because you have all the files doesn't mean you can prove they're the right files. How do you know, and more importantly, how do you prove that nothing's been changed? Not accidentally, not on purpose, nothing. And that, my friends, brings us to Act 2, the integrity problem. This is the really deep, critical challenge. This is what separates a pretty good compliance program from a truly great, bulletproof one. How do you build an unbreakable chain of trust for your evidence?
You do it with this, the Integrity Ledger. Seriously, this is the secret sauce. It's essentially a built-in, totally tamper-proof logbook. Every single piece of evidence, every report, every policy, every single screenshot gets logged and protected right here.
So how on earth does it work? Well, it all boils down to this really cool concept called a cryptographic hash. The absolute simplest way to think about it is like a unique digital fingerprint for a file. Using a really strong standard called SHA-256, the system generates this long, unique code. And if you change anything, I mean anything, even a single comma, that fingerprint changes completely.
So here's how it plays out. First, every file gets that unique digital fingerprint. Second, that fingerprint, along with a timestamp, gets recorded into a secure, permanent ledger. And third, every new entry is cryptographically linked to the one before it, creating that unbreakable chain of custody we talked about. The system then just keeps checking, making sure nothing has changed.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Fortress-level security? That sounds like a nightmare to set up, right? Weeks of work, consultants, the whole thing? Well, that's what's so wild. It's actually incredibly simple to turn on. I'll show you.
It's literally just a few clicks. First, you just decide how often you want the system to automatically recheck your files. Every 30 days is a pretty good standard, but you can pick what works for you.
Next up, you decide how you want your proof delivered to the auditors. You can have it automatically create signed reports, and you can even choose to include all that rich chain of custody data that auditors absolutely love to see.
And finally, you get this simple little confirmation screen. You just glance at your choices, 30-day checks, auto rehashing on, PDF and CSV exports, and you click the button.
And that's it. Done. Integrity Ledger activated. Just like that, every piece of evidence you have is now fingerprinted, it's time-stamped, and it's being automatically verified. Your protection system is live.
So, we've tackled collection, we've tackled integrity. What does that all add up to? Well, that brings us to the payoff. This is what it's all for. This is what peace of mind in a compliance world actually looks like.
And this is your new command center. Welcome to the Evidence Verification Center. It's your live dashboard, your single pane of glass, giving you a complete, up-to-the-second view of the integrity status of every single piece of evidence in your system.
And reading it couldn't be easier. Green is good. Verified means the file is authentic. Its current digital fingerprint matches the original one in the logbook. You're golden. Red? That's a red flag. Hash mismatch is a critical alert telling you, hey, this file has been changed since it was first uploaded. You know instantly if there's a problem.
And what you get is this: 1,284 files being monitored and protected. Now, that's not just a number on a screen. That's 1,284 moments of absolute confidence when you're sitting across the table from an auditor.
Which brings us right back to where we started. When that auditor leans in and asks that tough question, how do you know this wasn't modified? You're not going to stumble. You'll have the answer. You'll have the hash, the timestamp, the validation log. You'll have undeniable proof.
So, your evidence is now automatically collected. It's centralized in one place. And it is cryptographically secure to prove its integrity. The question isn't, can you survive an audit anymore? The question is your compliance process ready for its close-up?